Wow. So this is a very, very
Hello
unusual
and welcome to
recording
this week's
of the podcast
episodes
episode.
of The Calling. Follow
One of my
your spirit
teachers
all
told
the
me
way
many
in.
years ago
I'm your host,
that
Homaya.
sometimes with
Join me in this
strong
journey of
frequencies,
self-awareness,
the
soul
electronic
frequencies,
devices
and
cannot
spiritual
really handle
revelations. Let's
the
fly.
transmission. I am planning to record this episode and tuning into the recording of this episode for a few days, and again and again and again and again, there's another resistance, we can say, that shows up through the electronic devices, their ability to record, the internet connection, and so on. So I'm now recording this episode in a very unusual way, sitting in my studio, and I am holding my phone and literally recording this episode for you on the phone. And there's a second reason that this is a very unusual episode, because I want to share with you a certain path of creation that I went through and that brought so much into my life. And the reason I want to share that with you is because I believe it's going to inspire you in several ways. The first is to really follow, truly go through what is needed, even if there's no logic and there's no sense. And the second is because tuning to that specific frequency and taking it in whatever dimension, in whatever measures you want to take it in, will create so much internal space inside of you. It's unbelievable. But let me start with the story. So those of you who know me, or some of you here probably new to my world, for many years I was an energetic healer. I was holding my clinic and I would have clients around the clock during a day or a few days. I was treating physical symptoms with energies and gradually evolved and worked with a more subtle creation, emotional, relationship, mental, business, money, etc., etc. My energy work was an activation of forces inside of me and initiations that I've received from my teachers and my masters. I have this ability to see what is in the thin air and to hear what is aligned with the truth and to perceive frequencies. And this is how I started. I still have all of it, but this is how I started. There was a certain period in my life where I was way more teaching than giving healing sessions, and very rare would be the people who would really come to me to receive healing session. I was more traveling around the world and leading workshops and initiation in different locations. And as I was traveling, then I would see my students and my clients, and people would come to have a private session with me. However, a rare situation happened, and someone called me. I don't know how she reached out. I don't remember exactly, but it was exceptional. Again, she reached out and she said, I am from another country. I am near your location. We've never met. I just heard about you. And I'd like to meet, and I would like to have a private session with you. There's something around it that felt, let's do it. As she stepped into my studio, into my healing room, I have seen a phenomena that I haven't seen before. When I looked at her energetically and I looked at her chakra system, I've seen a whole different system. I could see what I've seen before with many of my clients, and I could see an additional layer and layers. Some of it felt connected to what I know, like an addition, we could say, and some felt like, wow, what is it? So it was super different. Our whole session was great, but I realized that that was a message from my spirit guides. That there is something for me to explore there, there's something for me to go deeper, and there's a message here. Somehow, not so many months after, I've decided to take a little break. I decided to take a year off in my life. I don't know. Well, I felt a little bit tired, we can say. I felt a little bit saturated. There could be so many reasons. But then only a year after I knew what was the reason. I stopped taking private client. I stopped taking classes, teaching classes. I actually accepted only people who wanted to learn with me one-on-one. I just took this year for myself. And I had many questions about healing, about energy work, about the future of humanity. I had many questions. There was a certain day in Mars where my partner and I decided to go to a vacation. It was his birthday. I booked a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful hotel for us. And we went there. However, we arrived feeling not that great. We had different symptoms and different sensations. And the way that the energy moved in our body was really bizarre. The conversation was starting between us, and somehow I recall that lady who came to see me. And quite a lot of questions that I had inside of me started to come very strong. I was wondering, how could it be that the chakra system that we are working, all of our energy work is so dependent and related to it, is actually indicating one place of connection to source. How could it be that one person can have a symptom in a certain area in the body, which is connected to a certain chakra, but actually the root of the discomfort is in another area of the body, in another location? I was wondering about the limitations that we have when we work just with a normal chakra system. I just couldn't realize, I couldn't understand where are all the aspects that are so connected to our soul, where are they located in our energetic body? I've learned a lot in my life. I touched so many people. I've seen so many auras. I practiced healing so much. Where are those places? How could it be that it's supposed to be something that exists in our auric field? We continued the conversation, and I must admit that it felt like we moved to a completely different dimension during this weekend. As we were in this luxurious, beautiful, colorful hotel, we started looking at the colors, and the colors started speaking with us. Now, I master the frequencies and colors and sacred geometry before. But again, there was some guidance there that guided us to look at the colors in a different way. It was less about the color itself, but more the way that the light is shining upon a certain surface and illuminate it. It's almost like the frequency, the flavor, the tone were coming out. It's like the overtone of a color. The different overtones of color started to speak with us. And we started meditating and feeling into it and writing it. And we got so inspired. We were playing with these for 1 or 2 hours, and then again the day after. And without noticing, without planning anything, every day for 9 months, I woke up around 4:30 in the morning, and I wrote, compose, what I didn't know what I'm doing. I had no idea. What am I doing? What is it? None of it was linear. None of it was something that I could grasp. It's just the color kept on speaking with me. Names kept on showing up. And it was like a multidimensional puzzle that I had to create without ever seeing the full picture. I just had a piece and another piece and another piece. And then I had to go back to that space and refine what I wrote and touch deeper and describe deeper. And everything was hyper enigmatic. As I'm taking this moment now to share it with you, with myself, with whomever is listening. I'm amazed. The energy, the courage, the trust, the faith, the connection. Every day to wake up, I could not resist. Every day to wake up, 4:30, writing, composing, mapping, following, as someone was writing it through me. And then around 7:30, it's almost like we can say that the door was closed. I had to go down. We were living in a type of a penthouse. I had to go down to be with my child, take him to his kindergarten. And there were days that I just laid down almost the entire day to integrate what happened before. There would be days of 3 hours writing between 4:30 to 7 or 7:30. But then at the end of the day, at the end of those 3 hours, there were only a few words written there. But the frequency was so strong. The transmission was so strong. I thought to myself that I'm channeling now. Of course, before I channeled in my life, but I've never channeled something like that. As I advanced with it, I realized that it's not about channeling, it's reading. I'm mapping. I am mapping space. I am mapping an hyperdimensional map. It was coming from the future, and it was for the future. As I moved forward and deeper and deeper, and more pieces of the puzzle came together, I could see what I have in my hand. And it was amazing, powerful, moving. I've realized that what I have is an elaboration of the chakra system as we know it. And what I mapped, what I wrote, is a description of what I would name as the fourth heaven, windows to the universe. While the normal chakra system, the traditional chakra system, is looking linear as a flute, the elaborated chakra system, the universal chakras, are hyperdimensional. They are connecting us not to what is happening in this 3D world, but rather to the seat of the soul. They do not describe how we participate in life, which is the description that the chakra system is showing up. It's not about our communication, our heart energy, our solar energies. It's not about that. It is about the creator. The universal chakras are between us and the universe. They are between us and the higher heaven, specifically the fourth heaven, the temple of creation, the place where we sign the contract to show up for this lifetime. And please breathe. The universal chakras are the description of creation beyond time and space. Opening yourself to the universal chakras, becoming aware that they exist, feeling them, tapping into them, playing with them, working with them, will expand your consciousness, will expand your perception of yourself and life. I look at it like a motherboard. Some people who learn with me Windows to the Universe or the teachings that I give about the universal chakras, asking, what can I do with it? Well, you have letters. No one is asking what you do with letters. You know you can create poetry with it. You know that you can create literature from it. You have notes. You know you can create music. This is an invitation for the strong pioneers, for those who do not need to wait for the world to confirm, to the collective to accept that our traditional chakra system is actually connected to a hyper, wider chakra system. Our traditional physical three-dimensional chakra system is actually connected to a big wheel, to the seat of your soul, where you can tap into different powers that influence your creation, your ancestral connection, your charisma, your ability to integrate codes, the ways that you are connected to what happened and to what will happen, to the past and to the future. The dimension of evolution that you can integrate, the way that you translate light codes, how much of your singularity that is awakened and connected, your willpower, your needs, and your illusions about that. There are so many segments that are active in your blueprint, and they're decoded in the universal chakras. I teach this class, just the beginning of it, just opening the possibility to contemplate, hear, feel, sense. I teach it once a year, and I'm going to teach it very soon. An introduction to all of that, to this biocosmic wisdom, to these evolutionary codes, to that which came from the future and to the future. This is for the pioneers, it's for the light leaders, for the code carriers, for those who really are interested in source codes, who can take a motherboard, who can take notes, who can take words and create a symphony with it, to the one that feels that they know their medicine, they know how to use energy, they know how to use essential oils. They know how to use different remedies, and they are so willing to extend. They are aware, and they want to have this intelligence awakened within them. They are aware that it cannot be, that we will limit ourselves still to the flute, linear 7 chakras, and that it is the time, as humanity evolves so much, as the intensity and the connection and the technology are transforming us so much, it is time for us also to become aware and to change the way we play in life energetically. It's not only about how we deal, how we live in reality, it is about how we create it. And those are the codes that the universal chakras can give you. I will be teaching a masterclass about it, and I will be adding an illumination, a biocosmic illumination, so you could literally feel this dimension of who you are and what you are. I feel honored, I feel excited, I feel grateful for the challenges in technology because they show me that this energy is coming forth strong for us. And I'm looking forward to see who are the pioneers, who are the light leaders, who are those who really walk forth in creating new earth, in speaking light language that will show up. You will find, of course, the details below. You can also contact me. I love you. I bless you. Thank you for this moment together.
Thank you for listening and being part of this great conversation. You will find all the relevant links in the show notes, as well as a link to a meditation for you to feel more connected to your spirit and aligned with your soul contract. Please, if this episode touched you, leave a review, like, and subscribe. Feel comfortable to share it with your friends, family, and colleagues, because everyone has a calling.